Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm looking at my face on here, and it does look amusing, and God knows it's caused you some amusing. Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you live from the deep south. Oh, fuck's sake! You really have made a meal of this one. I'll be coming back onto that one later on. Right, I've got notes here. They're not overly brilliant. I've sort of thrown this together at the last minute because I just wanted to get something with you for Christmas morning. So forgive me if it goes a little bit sort of all over the place. I'll try to keep it on track if I can. First of all, oh fuck's sake, here we go. First of all, I've got a new subscriber. Mark messaged me. It was either last week or the week before, and said, "Oh, you've got a new subscriber, mate. Just in case you're wondering who it is, it's the missus. It's the first time that she'd watched one of the videos with him. She enjoyed the cigarette advert. Was it blowing her face and she'll follow you anywhere? That amused us. So I think we know the level that we're playing to here now." So, welcome to the channel, Zoe. Hope you like what we're doing here. It is just a bit of light-hearted fun based on what's been going on within the Facebook group, with few bits, little bits of news sort of thrown in that I've picked up along the way, and bits and pieces. So you'll kind of get used to it. Hope you enjoy it anyway. I'll be doing your top 10, which Mark kindly sent to me last week on the next video. I need to have a quick look at it, well, proper look at it. There's a couple on there that I didn't recognise. I've never heard of them, so I need to have a look at those. But I'll be coming on to that one on the next video, which hopefully should be next weekend. But again, I'll come back to that one later as well. So yeah, welcome to the channel, Zoe. Let's see now. Oh yeah, thanks for bearing with me last weekend. I know there was a video posted Saturday morning as per usual, but I was working last Sunday, which means that I couldn't record an episode for the Saturday just gone. So which is why I'm doing this one now, so I can at least get something with you, as I say, for this weekend. The plan is to record another episode Boxing Day to go out next Saturday, but just in case I don't get a chance to do that, what I'll do is I'll take next weekend off and record it then to drop the weekend after. But I should be able to throw something together. If I can throw this one together, I can do it again, I'm sure. But we'll see how we go. So yeah, I appreciate you all bearing with me on that one. I've had some messages. Jason K, Merry Christmas, Tony, and to all the Retro Movie Zone Chit Chat people, have a safe and Merry Christmas and New Year. Thanks, Jason, much appreciate that. I think you're spending time with family, aren't you? So you'll be catching up with this one at some point soon, I'm sure. Guy, Christmas Tony time, nice one, mate. I couldn't go through a whole week and not do something, and it seemed appropriate. Everybody seems to be doing Christmas specials. Guy, you and Callie have done one, which I've not watched yet. I will be taking that in so that I can talk about it on the next video. I'm sure there's plenty on there to chat about. Steve Mack, that's fine, Tony. It is Christmas after all, and we are all so busy. It will be worth the wait. I certainly hope so. Merry Christmas to all in the group. Thanks, Steve. Dave Taylor, Merry Christmas to all our followers. Chris, yay. That was it. And a gif of me as Santa, and another one went on a little bit later on with a guy with two teeth. I don't know where they got that idea from. Scott messaged me on Messenger. Hello, Tony. Just wanted to quickly wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year as well. Hope you have an awesome time. Christmas for me will be very, very quiet, and to me that will be awesome. I don't really do parties and stuff like that anymore. I just can't be arsed with it. It's just going to be nice and quiet, sort of watching movies, watching TV, just basically 3 days of doing bugger all, which is how I like it. So thanks for that, Scott. And you also commented, well, it's gone to, let's see, I'm losing it already, just bear with me. Comments on the last video. Scott, come back to you again. Excellent video, Tony, loved it, mate. 48 Hours is in my top 3 favourite Eddie Murphy films of all time. Loved it. Still need to see the sequel, actually, but heard it's quite decent. It's very, very good. As sequels go, it's one of the better ones. I haven't seen it for a while, and I've not seen the original 48 Hours for quite a while. So I do need to catch up with both, and I believe they're both out on Blu-ray, and I think one of them's hit 4K recently. So I will be taking both of those in. I highly recommend Cobra. It's a great action film from the 80s. Very enjoyable film. Yeah, I mean, oh God, I got so much shit for this one. Cobra. It's one of those movies that I've seen bits of it, and I've probably seen the first sort of half hour of it quite a few times, but I've never ever actually made it through it. It's usually on TV quite late at night, so I normally, if I bump into it by accident while I'm channel hopping, I'll think, oh, I'll have a look at this. 30 minutes later, I'm fast out. So I will take the whole thing in. I've got obviously that Stallone box set that I was showing off the other week, with 4 other movies in there, including The Specialist, Assassins, Tango and Cash, which I have seen and loved, and I believe Demolition Man, which I've never seen. So I will be taking all those in, and I'll be coming back onto the subject of sort of watching movies a little bit later on, because I've set myself a challenge, which I'm hoping I can pull off. We shall see. Where are we? It's a great blah blah blah. Thank you for the shout out, mate. You're welcome, mate. Nightmare Beach is a fun film. I really enjoyed that one. Remember seeing the VHS sleeve, and I can see it on my mind's eye now, and it is one that I wouldn't mind taking a look at. Let's see. The Odessa File is a great film. Haven't seen it in a while, so definitely looking forward to rewatching that one. I know of it, John Voight, and it's to do with Nazi hunters, isn't it? So I would probably enjoy that. So I will be getting into that one. I've added it to the ever-growing watch list. Lars von Trier. That was the director you were trying to think of. I think you were showing off a 70s movie called Antichrist, which obviously wasn't directed by Lars von Trier because it'd have been too young. But it's one that I wouldn't mind a look at. I definitely wouldn't watch Lars von Trier's Antichrist, that's for sure. I know of it, and I know of certain bits of it that I would not get through. So it's just not my kind of thing. But I definitely wouldn't mind a look at that Antichrist movie that you've got. So I will be trying to track that one down on Amazon at some point to see if I can grab a nice little copy of that one. Let's see. I've heard that one is a messed up film, but this one from the 70s looks quite cool, to be fair. I'll let you know what it's like when I've watched it. Please do, because it'll decide probably whether I actually get it or not. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to watch Brimstone or I See the Devil, to be fair. Got no intention of even trying. Definitely not. From what you said about both of them, no, definitely not for me. Both great films, but very violent and hard to watch as well. I do recommend that Duran Duran live album. It's fantastic. Sounds great on vinyl as well. Thank you for the kind words on the video, Tony. Really glad you enjoyed it, mate. Take care, my friend. Thanks, Scott. Really appreciate that. Looking forward to your next video. That Duran Duran live album, I'm fairly sure I'll be able to get that on Spotify if I can't get it on from Amazon. But we'll see on that one. Guy. Lovely stuff, mate. Right, here we go. Oh God, here it comes. Whistling Tony Harris. And it goes on. Tea Kettle Tony. I do kind of get that one. I have certain trouble with certain, well, you'll hear it yourself as we go on, certain words that I can't say properly anymore until I get this damn tooth fixed. Tony Harris in Pork Scratching Peril. That's quite the headline. Let's see. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is awesome. Watch it. Think it's on Netflix. I do want to see it. I'm going through a bit of a Edgar Wright thing at the moment. What was the movie I watched the other week that I liked him in? That he directed. I can't remember. God, this is going tits up already. I watched something directed by Last Night in Soho, which made me kind of want to look up his back catalogue. I know that sounds awful, but I will be be taking Scott Pilgrim in because it's one of his earlier works, isn't it? The Christmas #1, so much better in the 70s and 80s. Ed Sheeran, wish he was dead Sheeran, absolute shite. Oh dear. I'm just not keen. I don't wish him dead. It's just not my kind of thing. the 70s and 80s had a look and feel all of their own, especially as far as Christmas records go. We'll never hear the like of Paul McCartney, Wonderful Christmas Time, War Is Over, John Lennon, all that sort of thing. My all-time favourite, I have to say, is Greg Lake, I Believe in Father Christmas. As soon as I've heard that for the first time, I know Christmas is on its way. That is my all-time favourite Christmas record. So there you go. Don't blah 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 me. Did I? I probably did actually. Were you trying to tell me to watch something? And I probably blah blah. Yeah, probably is. So I'll try not to blah 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 you again, mate. You've not seen Highlander. I'm apoplectic with anger. What the fuck is apoplectic? I don't even know what that means. But if you're angry, I am going to take it in. I think it's on BBC iPlayer at the moment. And I've added it to that watch list, which I'll be coming back onto later on. American Ninja did star Michael Dudikoff. Indeed, I think it's on YouTube. I kind of remember it getting a bit of a bad rep when it first came out for being just rubbish. I do remember Barry Norman didn't like it at all. But it's one that I wouldn't mind watching. I don't mind these 80s martial arts ones because they're not overly violent. You've not seen Cobra? Here we fucking go. I'm coming round your house and pissing through your letterbox. A little extreme, don't you think? I've promised I'll do it. My wife would like to know why you think she's a poo head. I think I messaged you about this because I was a bit worried about this one. It was you swine. It was you that started it. You and bloody Callie. I believe you were trying to verify some kind of a fact and you brought your adjudicator into it and you called her poo head. You did. Yes, you absolutely did. It wasn't me. I certainly didn't start it. Doctor Who anniversary. Fair enough for not being impressed. I think you'll prefer the second episode. It's got more of a classic era vibe. Do watch the third episode before you watch Christmas Day episode. You'll need to. I enjoyed them, but I get what you're saying. I enjoyed them, but wasn't blown away. Classic Who. I will always prefer it. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, as you know, and given the choice between watching one of the up-to-date Doctor Who's over watching something with Tom Baker or Patrick Troughton or John Pertwee, my dad, that's going to go on forever, that one, isn't it? I will always choose Classic Who over New Who. So. It's just how I am. I mean, I watch them and I enjoy them. I enjoyed the last one. It was okay, but it was nothing. It didn't, as you say, it didn't blow me away at all. It just didn't. But I shall watch the second and third one. I've not seen either of them yet, and I will be Sky Plus in the one on later on today. So yes, I will be taking them in, but I don't hold out any hope that I'm going to say, my God, that's the best thing I've ever seen ever, as far as Doctor Who goes, because it's just not going to happen. Hannibal. Watch it, you'll enjoy it. All 3 seasons on Netflix, so don't bother buying a box set. Get on it though. It's one that I wouldn't mind seeing. I have seen Silence of the Lambs. I've not seen the 2 or is it 3 sequels, so I've got to add those to the watch list as well. Now, is Hannibal an origin story? So am I going to be okay watching that before I see the movies? If so, I'll give it a go and I'll start that one. Dial of Destiny, watched it last night, bloody fantastic. It's on Disney Plus, so there is pizza and a movie night sorted for tonight. Get on it. I could watch it on Disney Plus, but I think I've got it for Christmas, and if I haven't, I'll be ordering it on 4K the second Boxing Day hits. But I'm fairly sure I will have that for Christmas, so we will be watching that for sure. 70s adverts, love that post. I think I put a post on of old toy and game adverts from the 1970s. My God, that brought back some memories. A lot of those games I'd actually got, and I wish I'd still got them. Smokey and the Bandit 2, loved it. Smokey and the Bandit 3, shite. Well, I'll find out when I watch it, I suppose. I can't remember much about number 2. I've seen the original many, many times. But 2 I've only seen probably once or twice. 3 I've never seen, and for £5 I thought, bugger it, might as well just bite the bullet and go for it. Nice choices for your 80s action films. I can't remember what they were. I'd have to have another look, but I'm glad you think they were good choices. That'll about do it. Tired now. Oh, okay. Fuck off then. Now, Guy and me had a bit of a difference about Kes. Classic, classic, classic. It's got classic written all through it like a sticker rock. Guy don't like it. Absolute shite. Forced to watch it at school. Ken Loach can just fuck off. It's F's. I can't say F's. I just realised. Ken Loach can just fuck off. We were, I wouldn't say forced, we had to read the book at school. And the teacher used to get individuals to read out paragraphs, sort of you read on and then he'd stop them and then somebody else. I always got the bits with the swearing in. And I don't know whether he did it deliberately. I didn't used to swear back then. I was such an angel. I never used to swear, and I'd get to some swear word, and straight off I'd look up and say, I ain't saying that. And somebody at the back would shout, say it, Harris, you puff, for fuck's sake, just say it. I'm not saying it, I'm not saying that. That's how I was. So yeah, I do remember Kes, and I do remember being a little frustrated at the fact that I couldn't actually say half of what he wanted me to say. But the film, absolutely brilliant. We I think we watched the film at school as well, but I've seen it many times on TV. I was always very surprised at the certificate that it got. I always imagined, with it being so gritty and the language being a bit raw, I always imagined it would be an X. So I was really surprised when I found out that it had got an A certificate, which back then is the equivalent of a PG. What it will get now, I don't know. But I love Kes. I've always loved it. Whenever it's on, I will always watch it. I've got a beautiful Blu-ray print of it, which I've seen many, many times. So I'm sorry, Guy, I can't agree with you on that. I think I said I was speechless, and you said I fucking wish you were. You don't. You don't wish I was speechless at all. Right, post of the week. If I was ever to introduce a feature called Post of the Week, this would definitely be this week's. Mark, I've had numerous conversations and rants about PC-ness, wokeness and all this crap. You all know my stance on this. I'm not in favour of it in any way, shape or form. So when I saw this absolutely made me howl, and it really did. And I've been debating with myself for the last couple of days, do I dare read this one out? But I'm going to, even if it gets me kicked off YouTube, I'm going to, because I thought it was absolutely funny. Mark, you put on a post about Tarzan movies, which read, at least Tarzan will always be white, because Disney doesn't have the balls to put a black man on screen acting like a monkey. Fuck. Wow. That was brilliant. That's probably, that got the biggest laugh out of me for weeks. I thought that was amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I'm amazed Facebook didn't take it down, but I'm certainly glad they didn't, because it amused a lot of people, that one. So well done, Mark. If there was a Post of the Week feature, you would definitely get the prize for that one. Absolutely loved it. Right, Jason, I think you replied to Mark on this one. Did you find it amusing how Tony was telling everyone they must watch Last Night in Soho? I was, because I was raving about it, because I'd seen it and I'd loved it. I've been telling him for a year. You've told him for 6 months, and here he is telling everyone to watch it. I was, you're right, absolutely. Can't deny that one. Tony, tip for 2024. Write down 50 movies you must get round to watching before Christmas 2024. Tick them off as you do, and none of the new crappy shite that's out either. It has to be big movies from 1970 to 2022 that were big and still not managed to watch them yet. Lord of the Rings trilogy, Hobbit trilogy, that you had on 4K last bloody Christmas, which I did. Signs, Mission Impossible ×7. There you go, I've just named 14 for you. I'm well up for this challenge. This is what I was on about earlier on. What I've done is I've created a watch list on Letterboxd, which I've hardly ever used, and it's a cracking app. So I've created this watch list. I've put all of those titles that you've mentioned. I've also been sent a lot of suggestions by a lot of other people, which I'll probably read out later on. I haven't got them on the notes at the moment, but I'll be reading those out a little bit later on. So I'm definitely up for it, and there is something about when you actually start a proper watch list, as opposed to just, trying to hold them up here and, putting them on a Word document, which looks bloody boring. But the Letterboxd watch list looks amazing, and it kind of makes it a lot more kind of accessible, and it makes me want to do it more. I know that sounds daft, but it does. So I have already kind of made a start with a couple of Christmas movies, which I'll come back to later on. But yeah, I am definitely up for this. I'm constantly adding to this watch list. As soon as somebody recommends something, I'll write it down, and the second I'm home, straight onto Letterboxd, add it to the watch list. I mean, you've named 14. You also put a post on, which again I'll be coming back to later on. There's a lot to come back to in a bit, of certain movies that you think I should add to the watch list. So I asked everybody to send me 5 movies that they would suggest that they don't think I've seen that I should add to the watch list. You kindly sent me about 67, not including the 14. So I've got to get a head start on yours, definitely. But there's some cracking movies on there. Some of them which I've looked at and thought, yeah, I have meant to watch that for ages. So I'll come back to that later on, and I'll probably be reading those out. Right. Malcolm McDowell, star of A Clockwork Orange, and many other movies. He's got a Facebook page. Now, I commented on one of his posts. It was months ago. I think it was early last year, and I never thought anything of it. I mean, I follow his page because I love his movies and I think he's amazing. But he replied to this post. Now, I'm not dim enough to think that this is the actual Malcolm McDowell. I would love to think that it is, because I'm a huge fan. But he replied to this message, and I started having this little conversation with him backwards and forwards over the last few weeks about, I asked him whether there was any chance of an autobiography, or at least some kind of a book about his experiences making A Clockwork Orange. And he kindly replied with something along the lines of, I think it is in the pipeline, but I can't say anything about it. I then sent him a list of my favourite McDowell films, which were If, Blue Thunder, Caligula, Clockwork Orange, and Time After Time, which he's not replied to yet. It takes him a few days to do it. I thought it was lovely. I like I say, I'm not daft enough to think it is the actual Malcolm McDowell, but I would really like to think that it is the Malcolm McDowell talking to me about sort of his career and, what he's got coming up and this, that and the other. I just thought it was really nice, so I thought I'd share that with you. I'll keep you posted on what comes back on that one. Now then, there is a show that's been getting a lot of coverage just recently. I shied away from it. 007, The Road to a Million. It's getting rave reviews within the group. It's getting rave reviews from everywhere. Everybody's saying it's really, really good. Guy says, has anyone else been watching this? It's bloody brilliant. I don't know why I didn't bother with it. I think it was, I saw 007 and I thought, oh, brilliant. And then I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is Brian Cox, I think is his name. And it's not a quiz show, but it's a kind of a competition. And I thought, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be some kind of a documentary series about the Bond films. But you're all saying how brilliant it is, so I'm going to be taking a look at it to see what I think. I don't even know what it's about. All I know is it's some kind of a contest. So I would probably enjoy it, but I'll give that a go and let you know what I think. And if you've got any more thoughts on that one, let me know. What else have I got here? I watched Muppet Christmas Carol, A Miracle on 34th Street last night. Absolutely loved both of them. It's taken me a while to catch up with them. I've seen the original Miracle on 34th Street quite a few times and absolutely loved it. But I've never seen the Richard Attenborough remake. And I've never seen the Muppet Christmas Carol. So, in case you're wondering, I'm doing all sorts of funny things with my mouth. I've got this new It's like denture fixative. it's it's a bit uncomfortable. Rob calls it tooth glue. It holds my dentures in. That's how old I am. Got bloody dentures. So if I keep going like that's what it is, just in case you're wondering. Muppet Christmas Carol, absolutely loved it. Can't believe it took me all these years to watch it. I thought it was a great adaptation of the Dickens thing with a real funny twist with the Muppets. I thought it was great. Really enjoyed it. Will I be watching it again? Yeah, more than likely. And as for Miracle on 34th Street, as good as the original, I thought. Really heartwarming. A perfect little Christmas film. Absolutely adored it. I've had some comments on that. Caroline, you said, I watched the Muppet Christmas Carol for the first time last year and thoroughly enjoyed it. Love it when Beaker gives Scrooge the bird. Super. The whole thing is funny. So you watched it for the first time as well. So it's taken you as long as it has me to catch up with that one. Chris says, firstly, oh my shit, how have you not seen these before? Second, you're about to have an incredible night of festive viewing and I hope you enjoy, sir. I did. I loved it. It's the same story as it always is. It's just one of those movies that I've meant to watch. You know, I've even watched a few minutes, I think probably the first 10 minutes, and thought I'll come back to that. I'm not in the mood for that. But made a point of it last night. Thoroughly enjoyed it, both of them. So, Guy says, how have you not watched Muppet Christmas Carol before? I just told you. And I thought I was Mr. Bar Humbug of this group. Well, you are. Callie says, now we have something to talk about on the next episode of Honey Geeky's show, and here it comes. Oh, we so do, Guy says. So I'm obviously going to get some stick on the next episode of HYGIS, so look forward to hearing that. Jason P, what a cracking double bill. It was, and I really, really enjoyed it. There's still a handful of Christmas films, classic ones that I've never seen. I have seen Elf. I took that one in last year, but there's still a couple of classics that I've never seen. Home Alone. Only joking, only kidding. Of course I've seen Home Alone. But there are a few that I've not seen, and I will be trying to track them down either this year or save a couple for next year, because I've done sort of 2 for this year that I've never seen, so I'll save some for next year probably. Right, I'm going to take a quick break, and we're back. Right, I'll try and keep this as short as possible, guys, because I'm sure you've all got better things to do than listen to me prattling on Christmas Day. The post that went on last night about me watching Muppet Christmas Carol and Miracle on 34th Street, I've already read the comments out on that one, but one just went up a few minutes ago from Joe Raven, a colleague of mine at work. How dim am I? What it was, he put, already done Christmas Carol, in capital letters, GOAT, Christmas film. GOAT. I had to ask what GOAT meant. I had no idea. I had no clue. Greatest of all time. So thanks for that one, Joe. Guy just said, really? I said, no, honestly, I don't know what it means. I didn't have a clue what it means. I do now, so I won't be making that mistake again. Morning, Joe. Morning, Joe. Let's see. Oh, quick thoughts on Ashley McGimpsey. This one's for you. You recommended a movie called Claws, a Christmas movie that you really, really enjoyed. I kind of put off watching it because it's an animated thing, and I don't normally do animated movies, although I've been told by several people that I need to start watching 1 or 2 of the Pixar films, in particular Toy Story, and that kind of thing. So I may just take a couple in just to see what it is I've actually been missing. But I put off watching Claws for quite a while. I finally got round to watching it last week. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really good. To water it down briefly, it is an alternative Santa Claus origin story. I just thought it was really clever. The animation is really unusual. It caught my eye straight away. It's difficult to describe. You'd need to take a look at it. But if you get a chance to watch it, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's called Claus, Klaus. It's streaming on Netflix, I believe, at the moment, which is where I watched it. Really, really enjoyed it. The humour's brilliant. The animation's great. really, really Christmassy film. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that one. So thanks for that one, Ashley. Good call on that. Let's see. Mark, you were commenting that my dad says that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is a Christmas film because it has elves. I'll have to take your word for that, as I haven't actually seen them yet. They are on the watch list. That was one of the movies that Jason recommended I take a look at, seeing as I've had the Blu-ray box set since last Christmas. I don't even think it's out of the cellophane yet, so that one's definitely going to get a watch. Caroline, you went all Christmassy on us as well, watching one of my favourite Christmas films while baking mince pies. It's a Wonderful Life never ceases to fill my heart. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. What a beautiful post. Or it was until Guy Jessup Braithwaite got bloody hold of it. Every time a bell rings, an altar boy gets sodomised. Thanks, Guy, for that. That's an image we all wanted. Thank you so much for that, and for destroying that lovely post of Caroline's, you git. Oh God. Right, quickly, while I've got these on screen, Jason, you put a post on about movies that you're looking forward to in 2024, and I had a quick flick through them. Let me just go through them now. Imaginary. Dave Oliver, you did a review of the trailer for this one. And I've got to say, it looks amazing. Killer teddy bear. And need I say more? It is, I think, going to be this year's Megan. Looking at that, but I look forward to seeing that one. It looks creepy as hell. So that's one that I'm definitely going to be taking in. Next one, The Watchers. Now this is, let me get this right, Ishana Night Shyamalan. This is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's daughter, I think. And M. Night Shyamalan actually produced this. It's a horror movie by the looks of it, or is it a series? I don't know, but I would definitely take a look at it. Looks intriguing. Next one, Feral. The poster looks suspiciously like a movie from the 80s. I don't know if you remember this one, called Razorback. It was an Australian movie about a kind of a large hog with massive teeth. Massive thing, was running through houses and killing people and all sorts. It was absolute mayhem. This looks very similar to that. So there's a good possibility I'll take a look at that one, because I do like animal attack movies. Alien Romulus. This is the Alien series that's being directed by Fede Alvarez, I believe his name is. This is the guy who did the reboot of Evil Dead in 2013. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with this. I believe it takes place in between the original Alien and Aliens. So yeah, definitely curious for that one, and that's only hopefully a few months away. August 2024, so No Way Up. This is one about a plane that crashes in the ocean, and they are being menaced by sharks. What more could you say? Fasten your seatbelts, it says on the poster. Beaten to Death. Absolutely 100% categorically definitely not. I watched the trailer and it looked brutal and basically horrible. I'm fairly sure that I would not get through that one, so I'm not even gonna say that I'll give it a try, because I'm fairly sure that I will not be giving it a try. So Beaten to Death. Wicked. Now this is something to do with the Wizard of Oz. I'm not sure what. I believe it's a stage show, and it's done very, very well. It's been on Broadway for years. I believe it's been in the West End for years. I'm really curious about it. Big fan of the Wizard of Oz, so I want to see what they do with it. You've got who's in this now? Jeff Goldblum. Can't go wrong with Jeff Goldblum. What I want to know is what happened to the Wizard of Oz spin-off movie called Gale. It looked like a horror movie, and I believe I talked about it probably about a year ago, but things have gone very quiet on that one. I've not heard anything of it as it had a UK release, and I've missed it. I put the trailer on and it got quite a reaction. It looks a hell of a movie. Let's see, what's the next one? The Watcher, season 2. Not seen season 1, but I do remember watching the trailer for it and thinking that looks good. The Karate Kid, a new Karate Kid movie is coming. This, I believe, is on the back of the final season of Cobra Kai. Now, I've only watched the first season so far of Cobra Kai. I do need to power through the rest of it before this is released. And I only caught up with the original trilogy of Karate Kid movies, I think it was last year. So I'm fairly new to all of this, but really enjoyed the first season of Cobra Kai. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that movie-wise. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, definitely 100% up for this one. Loved Afterlife, thought it was brilliant. That final scene, which I'm not going to give away because there are people that have not seen it, so I'm not going to do spoilers on that one. But that final scene, oh, melts your heart, really does. Lift with Kevin Hart. Not a massive Kevin Hart fan. Something to do with, well, the heist begins at 40,000 feet, it says. So it's something to do with a robbery on a plane by the looks of it. That's a Netflix thing. Cruella 2. Not seen the original. I enjoyed 101 Dalmatians, the original Disney animated one. Not seen Cruella, which was the live action one from a couple of, maybe 3 years ago. But I wouldn't mind the look at it. Emma Stone. Deadpool 3. Probably not. As I've said before, Deadpool did not do for me what I thought it was going to do. I'd had people on at me for ages to watch Deadpool. Got to watch Deadpool. It's brilliant, absolutely. I put it on and I just remember thinking, sort of 20 minutes, half an hour into it, have I got the right movie? Is this the one that everybody's raving about? Because it's not doing anything for me at all. It was just to me, it was just a sweary superhero, and that was it. So I didn't watch Deadpool 2, so it's highly unlikely I will be watching Deadpool 3 unless I decide to give it another chance and maybe think, was it just the wrong day I watched it in? Was I in the right mood for it? I don't know. Venom 3. Almost certainly, because I am at the moment going through the latest movies, the Spider-Man movies. I've just cleared the Tobey Maguire movies. I've done those. Just about to move on to the Andrew Garfield and then on to the Tom Holland ones. I do know who Venom is now, thanks to the original trilogy, so I will be taking a look at the Venom movies without a doubt. Mufasa, the Lion King. Oh, this is another one of those. I don't really do the modern animated Disney movies. I'm probably one of the few people that have never seen The Lion King, The Little Mermaid, Frozen, heaven forbid. So I don't know. So I've not even seen the original animated ones. So why I would want to watch these sort of not live action remakes, but they are kind of remakes. They do look impressive, I've got to admit. But will I watch it? I don't know. Maybe in an unguarded mode at the moment. Beetlejuice, September the 6th. This is out. This is either, I think it's a sequel to the original movie. Obviously, Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenny Ortega. She's something to do with the Scream movies. I will definitely be watching that one. I loved Beetlejuice. Haven't seen it for many years, but really, really enjoyed it. Bad Boys 4, is it? Is it 4 or 5? Can't tell. It's IV, whatever that is. So I did promise I'd take a look at these, but I haven't had the chance yet. But they are all of these on my watch list, so they will be getting a watch. Basically, so I can just see what all the fuss is about, because everybody swears by these Bad Boys movies. I'm not a massive Will Smith fan, but I will take a look at these because I've heard they're very good. Joker, sequel to the Joker. I can't wait for this one. Really, really, really enjoyed Joker a lot more than I thought I would. It was not what I thought it was going to be. Obviously, Joaquin Phoenix in that one. Lady Gaga, not sure. Apparently, she's very good in the remake of A Star Is Born, and also The House of Gucci, which is another one I mean to keep meaning to take a look at. So I will be having a look at that. The Fall Guy. Yeah, I mean, I'll take a look at it, but I am fairly certain, as I've said before, that it will bear absolutely no resemblance to the original series, which I've just got the first season on DVD, which I'm going to be taking a look at because I love 70s action series. Even though, yes, before you all start screaming, you've not seen the A-Team, you've not seen bloody Blue Thunder, you've not seen, what's the other one, the other helicopter one, Airwolf or Knight Rider. I do love 70s action series. Starsky and Hutch, The Incredible Hulk, Charlie's Angel, loved all that. It's just a handful that I've not taken in. But the Fall Guy is one that I will be taking a look at. The series, possibly, and the film. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, 100% definitely yes. I've seen all of these, love them, absolutely adore them. Cannot wait to see where they're going to take this. The trailer looked absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to see the next trailer. Let's see, it says only in theatres 2024, so that's obviously next year. Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, March 15th, 2024. God, I don't know, because I more than likely will take a look at it, but as you know, the original Kong versus Godzilla, or whatever it was, there was another one, wasn't there? Kong, New Empire, not New Empire, that's this one, isn't it? Skull Island. Did absolutely nothing for me. Again, was I in the wrong mood for it? Do I need to take another look at them? I'll see, because from what I've seen of the trailer of this, it does look amazing. But I said that about the last ones, so we'll see how we go with that one. The Beekeeper. This is Jason Statham, an action movie, so no, probably not. The Strangers trilogy. The original Strangers was just as creepy as hell. Very, very unnerving. Apparently, this is either a remake or a reboot, and it's going to be a trilogy. There's going to be 3 of them. I stated the fucking obvious. Obviously, if it's a trilogy, there's going to be 3 of them. So yes, I almost certainly will be taking that one in. Bob Marley, One Love. This is a music biopic of the legend that was Bob Marley. Not a huge fan, but I do love a good true story, especially a music biopic. So I will be taking a look at that one. That's next year as well, obviously. Arachnophobia. It's gone very quiet on this front, hasn't it? I remember reading about this earlier this year, and I believe the director that was slated to do it moved on to another project for one reason or another, and nothing's been heard about it since. I'm definitely up for it. Obviously, I've got a mortal fear of spiders, so that will really push buttons with me. But I'm just looking forward to finding out when, if at all, it's going to happen. I would hope so. I mean, if Blumhouse have got it, which it says it has here, it's going to be worth a watch. Absolutely. So 100% up for that one if it's actually going to happen. Twisters, the sequel to Twister, definitely. Only seen it a couple of times, many years ago, but really, really enjoyed it. I believe it's to do with the kids of Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt's character, who are in the same line as their mum and dad was. So definitely up for that one. Crystal Lake. Can't wait. I always end up disappointed by these TV adaptations of sort of classic horror movies, but I'm definitely 100% up for this one. It's from the creator of Hannibal, which I've not seen, but I've heard is very good, and I've promised Guy I'll take a look at, so I need to. But now this is on Peacock, which I haven't got, but I'm fairly sure that it will turn up on one of the other streaming services, and if it doesn't, I will have to get hold of it one way or another, because I'm really intrigued by that one. Love the Friday the 13th movies. As far as I can see, you can't go wrong with that one. Beverly Hills Cop 4. You did a review of this, Dave, the trailer, teaser trailer. I watched it as well. I think it looks amazing. I really do think it looks worth a look. And as you said, if they'd released it theatrically, I'm not sure it would have worked due to the gap, as you say, between the last movie and this one. But when I put the trailer on, I wasn't hoping for very much. I thought I'd come out of it thinking, oh God, yeah, maybe. I just hope they've got it right. I really, really do. But it looks brilliant. The trailer makes it look absolutely amazing. So yes, I am up for that one. So that's all of those. Now, I've got some other movies that I'm looking forward to, which I'll be talking about on the next video. Not these ones. These are ones that I personally have sort of picked that I'm looking forward to in 2024. So I'll be talking about those on the next video. Let's see. I'm going to change tack slightly here. There was a post on Retro Music Zone last night. Basically, I put a post on about the Thompson Twins, who I used to love in the 80s. And I was just commenting on what on earth happened to the Thompson Twins. And Jason, you put, this is where I need to get a thread going for the summer on the Retro Music Zone. You are so organised, dude. How about 100 days, 100 artists? No particular order, just 100 artists that we like. I like the Thompson Twins, but I know they would make my top 100 because I do not have a CD of theirs. I've got one of theirs. We know each other's movie tastes, sort of an idea of TV taste, but not really an idea of music taste, which is why it's going to be interesting. Oh, well, we know that Tony isn't a fan of Robbie or Oasis yet. I've pretty much made that known, but loves Take That and the Spice Girls. I do. Guilty pleasures, I'm afraid. This could be an interesting thread and good game to play along. Could also be an eye opener too. We know Mark will choose about 75 rap artists that nobody has ever heard of. Yes, that's about right. I'm looking forward to this thread already. Get your thinking heads on, folks. I reckon about June, July time for that one. I'm looking forward to that. Most of mine will obviously be from the 80s backwards. Anything 90s forwards, I just can't get into. I just can't. So if we're doing definite retro, then I'm in for that one, absolutely. Mark, you said, I only listened to rap till about the age of 16. I then transitioned, did you? Into rock and heavy metal music. I haven't listened to any new music for many years. Oh, man after my own heart. I can't listen to new stuff. It means absolutely nothing to me. As I say, we watch a lot of old Top of the Pops that are screening on, I think it's BBC Three. And the one thing I notice is, every single track on there, and chances are you bought on vinyl. Nowadays, I couldn't name any. I really couldn't. I love old music, and you obviously do too, Mark, so you're going to love this thread as well. Guy, you said, I'm all over that. Also thinking about a TV thread, but with a difference. Leave that with me. Oh, looking forward to finding out what that's all about. My TV thread should hopefully be starting on January the 1st. As I says, it'll be one series, probably a week, unless I run short of things to put on one particular programme, in which case it'll be starting later that week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. And our tastes will differ greatly on that one, as I'm sure it will with the music. Going into 2024, keeping Tony's notifications in high numbers. You love doing that, don't you? And Jason says, shit, yeah, got to keep him busy. Which you do, you always keep me busy. What I'm also going to do is try to play more of a part in what's going on within the group. I've got to create more time to actually sit down and comment on things and stuff like that, so I need to do that. Chris loved the Hukes Christmas Filmathon 4K season. Really enjoyed it. You'll see in a bit that I do take note of what you've been saying. Scrooged, I think, was the latest one. Absolutely love that movie. A completely different take on A Christmas Carol. Really good. Bill Murray was brilliant, but to me the star of it was Carol Kane as the Ghost of Christmas Past, Future, can't remember. The fairy that kept kicking him and smacking him. I can't remember the name of it now, but she was absolutely amazing. So yeah, Scrooged. Not sure I'd buy it on 4K, but I do love it. And I love the track that plays over the end credits, Eurythmics. I actually bought that on 12-inch single, a long time back. I had to import it. So yeah, love Scrooge, and I've really enjoyed this the Christmas Filmathon, and looking forward to seeing what you've got in store for us next year, mate. You say you're going to do one a week. I can't wait. Looking forward to that. Jason K, you put a post on, if you're a fan of horror, come on over and join Escape to Horror. This is a Facebook group dedicated to all things horror movies, books, all that sort of thing, and it's a cracking little group. So if you want to find that post and pop over and join that, you won't regret it. I've already commented on 2 or 3 of the posts over there. Really enjoyed it, so good call on that one, Jace. Gareth, oh my god, you'll guess the movie from the soundtrack quizzes. Let's see, Bond, 10 out of 10. Did absolutely brilliant on that one. I thought, really looking forward to this one. Action movies, 0 out of 10. And I thought, you couldn't really do much worse than that. And even you said, you'll do much better in the next one because it's sci-fi. Guess what? 1 out of 10. And that one was my all-time favourite movie, Close Encounters, which there was no way I wasn't going to get that one. But all the others, obviously I recognise the movies, but the soundtracks, No. So I'm looking forward to the next one to see what I can fail on next, Gareth, on that. Let's see. I think that is pretty much it. So what I will do is, Mark, I'm enjoying your top 100 programs, by the way. I've not heard of what you might call a shed load of them, but there are a couple that have popped up, and I thought, oh yeah, Superstore was one. Really, really love that show. Absolutely love it. It used to be on around about 8 o'clock, which is normally my bedtime, so I always used to put that on because it was just easy viewing, and it's so well written, really, really good. So unlike, I tried watching an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Maybe I'm not getting the point of it. Maybe I'm just not getting it. I don't know, but it didn't do an awful lot for me, so I'm not really tempted to plough through that one. But Superstore I thought was excellent. I'll have a chat with you about some of the other choices on there, because I say a lot of them I've never heard of, but there were two or three, but I can't remember what they were now. So, right, I'll just do a very quick, put the cup down. What have I been buying this week? This should round things off nicely. I got this a couple of weeks back, actually. This is obviously the double issue TV guide. Oh, there ain't much on. Is it just me? Jason, you're quite good with these things. I've had a flick through it. I've not sort of read it properly, but I've looked through it. I can't see anything that jumps out at me that says, oh, you must watch this. This is going to be absolutely brilliant. Unlike sort of 20, 30 years ago, when you would sit there quite happily for 2-3 hours circling and highlighting all the stuff that you wanted to, and then sorting out enough videotapes to be able to record all that stuff. I was panicking, not panicking, but thinking a few weeks back, I need to sort of clear out some of my Virgin Media hard drive on my set-top box. Do you know what? I mean, it's up to, I think it's 98% on the one downstairs. And I don't think I need to. I really don't. I don't think there's going to be enough to warrant clearing it off. But one of my ambitions for next year is to clear that down to 50% at least, because there's way too much on there. All sorts of stuff that's been hanging on there for years. So I do need to do that. But I certainly won't be doing it with programs out of that. I will have a proper read of it later on to see what is actually on, but I'm not holding out much hope on that one. I have a book. Let's see, The Ultimate Guide to Strange Cinema. I love cult movies, as you know, unusual films, and this is a reference book for all that. The reviews ain't very long, but you've got movies in there that you've probably never heard of, because I haven't. Devil Times 5, Doom Asylum from '87, The Bunny Game. These are all movies that I probably would watch. Gothic 1986, that's a Ken Russell film, so I almost certainly would watch that. But that's the Guide to Strange Cinema, not that. Chris, I do listen to you. Gremlins 1 and 2. You were saying that it's probably not worth investing in the 4K because the transfer is not as stunning as you maybe thought it would be. But I did want a copy of Gremlins because I haven't seen it for many years. Gremlins 2, I haven't seen that for even longer. And I thought, yeah, the Blu-ray of that will suffice. So I do take note of what you're saying. The very latest issue of Empire, which is hopefully, there's a 2023 celebration. There's articles on Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Doctor Who, Van Damme. Hopefully there'll be some kind of a 2024 preview of what's coming. The latest Sight and Sound, 50 best films of 2023. There's all sorts of other stuff in there as well. That's a cracking read. And finally, The Incredibly Strange Film Book. I don't know why, but I had this thing this week about looking for cult movies, and I thought I need a book to go with all these cult movies that I'm going to be trying to get hold of. This was actually a TV series that Jonathan Ross presented in the 90s, I believe, and it is basically all cult type movies. It's I'll do a quick flick through, but it's hardly worth it. But Driller Killer there by the looks of it. But there's all sorts in this, so I will be. It's not one that you could read cover to cover. I believe it is kind of like a dip into book and come out of it and go back into it later. So, right, I'm going to round it up there. You've listened to me prattle on for quite long enough. As I say, you've all got things to be doing with it being Christmas Day. I will part by saying Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Thanks for everything that you do for the channel, on the group. You are the most amazing bunch of people, and I can't wait to see what we come up with for 2024. I've already mentioned a couple of bits there, but there's going to be all sorts coming up in 2024. My main thing is to get more movies watched, basically just stuff that I can actually talk about, and that is definitely on its way. I'm going to create more time to get more movies watched, which is what this is all about. But you guys have been absolutely brilliant. I can't fault it. So I'll say goodbye for now. What I'm going to try and do is record another video on Boxing Day to release on Saturday, next Saturday. If by any chance I can't do that, I will take next weekend off, and I will record something on Sunday for screening sort of the Saturday after. But ideally I would like to do something on Boxing Day, but we'll see how we go. So right, have a brilliant Christmas, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas Day. Overeat, overdrink, overindulge, and love every second of it. As I say, Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. You are the best zoners ever, absolutely. Have a great day, folks, and I will talk to you all again very, very soon, and thanks for joining me. Take care. Ta-da.